present. There are 35 people on board. So I guess majority of the whole class is around. So how was your weekend? Can you please camera Brian Lunesa? I'd like to see you if you're around. Brian?
Yung operator, sir. The phone pa ko, sir.
Huh?
Yung phone ako. Ito, sir.
How about you, Von Adrian Flores? So Von, are you around? So he must be absent. Neil Makinlao.
Yes, sir.
Oh, can you please turn on your camera? Okay, good. Good to see you. Oh, okay, I will turn on my camera so you'll see me too. How about Mr. Luce? Roylan? Okay, good to see you, Mr. Froilan. How about Socorro Dandan? Okay, Bon. Okay, I saw you already. Okay. How about Kim Sanchez? Okay. How about Camille Rojas? How about the rest of the class? Can you please turn on your cameras? Miss Aribal, Miss Empleo, Miss Rakal. It's good to see you. Okay. Shall I start the class now? Are you all listening? You may turn off your cameras and I'll turn off my camera also. Okay, the assignment I gave you for today, last week was about Module 1, the introduction to construction contracts. I have started checking your work, your turned in work, and most of you answered in the question of basic construction contractual contracts arrangements of different views. So I still gave it a score though, but the basic construction contract arrangements are of different arrangements actually. It is number one, the contract between the designer and the owner. It's an agreement, arrangement, basic construction contractual arrangement. Second, first of all, the contract between the designer and the owner. Who is the designer? Of course, it may be the structural designer, the architect designer, and the owner. It is the owner who normally commissions the designer to do the job in designing his project. There can never be an arrangement on contractual basis if the owner will not agree with the proposal of the architect, the designer, or he does not conform to the architect or the structural designer, but it has to be between two minds that will come to an agreement. So basically, what is a contract? A contract is what you call the meeting of two minds that will have to come to an agreement in such a way that both parties agree to deliver their services. At the same time, the owner being the lead contractor, deliver his obligation as owner to pay the designers. Okay? So, any questions? Mr. Kim Sanchez, any question on that? Is that clear? Hello, Miss Sanchez, Kim. Is that clear? Clear as mud? I will repeat it again. Please, no, if I'll ask you to say something, can you please say something? So that I won't be hanging around thinking that you are there or not. That's why I really don't like online class. Okay? How about you, Mr. Brian Lunesa? Do you understand? Did you understand what I was talking about?
Uh, I'm still processing it, sir. But
Oh, you have to
yeah,
listen carefully. How about Sir Salejo? Neil, did you process the things that I have said and understood it? Hello, Neil, Michael, Sir Salejo. Why can't you not talk in the microphone? Why do you have to send it to a message? Do you have a microphone? How about Neil Lau?
Yes, sir. Was able to process her, sir.
Did you understand what I said?
Yes, sir.
What is meant by the contract between the designer and the owner?
Yes, sir.
So can you expound it further?
If I'm not mistaken, sir, you said that it's something that both of them should agree on. And oh, yes, sir. Then uh
Okay.
and there's the other types of designers said, sir.
How about you, Mr. Luce? Did you understand what I said? Can you continue what Mr. Lau has said about the contract between designer and the owner?
Yes, sir. It was it was clear to me, sir, na uh, in a construction contract in a contractual arrangement, sir, there should be like two minds that are agreeing, and then yeah, between the designer and the owner, there should be like uh yeah, let's say the legal documents, like the contract, the basic construction contractual contract, sir, that would cover the scope of the project.
Okay. How about Miss Cuevas? Are you around, Miss Cuevas? Never mind, never mind. Okay, I'll continue. The basic construction contractual agreement between the owner and the construction contractor. The owner normally bids out the project and chooses his own contractor, construction contractor. But in a big project, big magnitude project, it has to have its own project manager. So imagine in a triangle, the owner is on top, the contractors on the other side of the triangle, and the designer is at the other side of the triangle. In the middle is the project manager, construction project manager. It is in that way that all things are coordinated properly when there are problems encountered in the contract. Normally, it is the owner who foresees any doubts on his contractor. That's why he goes to the project manager if he has a problem with it. Okay? The contract between the owner and the construction contractor oblig this contract obligates the construction contractor to build the project in return for payment by the owner. The contractor must build in accordance with the plans and specifications produced by the designer. That's where the designer comes in. However, it is important to note that in this arrangement, there is no contractual arrangement between the designer and the contractor, although they must interact significantly on any project. That's why we create a triangle in such a way that the owner is on top, the contractors on the side, the other end, and the designers on the other end. So that the communication lines are open that will interact between the designer, contractor, and the owner. Who is in the middle of the triangle? It's the project manager. The project manager is the one that coordinates all that are needed to be coordinated to the owner, to the contractor, and to the designer. You got it? Uh, Miss, okay, Miss D, did you understand? Are you around, Miss D? How about
Hello.
Miss?
Sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Did you understand what I said about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is not clear to you there?
Everything was stated clearly, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. D. How about Miss Empleo? Aliana?
Yes, sir. Understood, yeah.
Claro Roday?
Yes, sir.
If I will ask you to explain that, you can explain that properly, thoroughly, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, in another sense, public and private owners, government projects, especially for public owners, they choose to have their own public contractors through bidding, and they announce it all the time in newspapers. They publish invitation to pre-qualify, then invitation to bid. So these are done through public announcements through the newspapers. But in private biddings, it is normally done through invitation, through uh, recommendations only. Like you get to be recommended by a certain person who knows your track record in construction work. So you get to be invited to bid in that bidding. There is also an invitation to bid, but sent to you privately, and it is not announced in public. So public and private biddings are differently done and are always in a different manner uh, conducted. So in government projects, they always publish invitation to pre-qualify. They send a notice of invitation to pre-qualify. Then after a notice of pre-qualification, everyone submits their documents to pre-qualify. Then a few days after that is invitation to bid. All of those who pre-qualified, they are now invited to bid. And there you submit your bids after so many weeks or days after the pre-bidding conference. So most of the private owners who does bidding uh, commission someone to pre-qualify the bidders, and they are known as the construction project managers, CPM. The CPMs are the construction project managers that qualifies the bidders for that certain project. Whereas in the government, there is the PBAC or PBAC, Pre-Bid Accreditation Committee. That's the PBAC. That's for government. But for private institutions, they have the construction project managers. Okay? So, in a competitive bidding, that's what I have asked you. Oh no, in competitive bidding, bidders are always pre-qualified based on their track record. Who are these bidders? These are pre-qualified bidders having the track record to undertake the project. Well, if it's a big project like high-rise buildings, then you have to have that track record that you are capable of doing the project well. There are instances that pre-qualification is not done properly, so the bidder who was chosen to win the bid is not capable of doing the project. Why? Because his track record is not properly evaluated. He may have listed down all these things that he has in his pre-qualification profile, and yet it is fictitious in a way. So many instances of big projects have been uh, undertaken by fly-by-night contractors that are not really that licensed contractors, but are just maybe they are just capable of financing a certain project, but they don't have the expertise in doing the project well. So, yabog yun ang project. In here in Cebu, there are a lot of bidders that are really qualified, and yet they are still overtaken by bidders from Manila. There are construction companies that are coming in here in Cebu to bid for big projects. Yet, Cebu contractors are not winning the bids. Why? Maybe because the Cebu contractors have overpriced themselves because of certain unit item or what. That's why maybe their bids are high. So in a competitive bidding, normally there are things that are being considered in 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 evaluation of biddings. And normally these are done by construction project managers with the ability of quantity survey QS. That's what we call QS, quantity survey. That's why in the field of civil engineering, this new branch of civil engineering is very competitive now and in demand. QS, quantity survey. If you like to pursue quantity survey, you just have to study your estimating, not only in estimating, but reading the plans well, studying it, knowing the specifications, and everything that deals with the project, especially in terms of quantity, wherein the quantity surveyor is really needed in a project right now. For high rise buildings, QS job is in demand because for high rise buildings, although repetitive in nature, from ground floor, second floor, third floor up to the highest floor, it is a repetitive method schedule of things. But with the so many things that you have to consider, the quantity surveyor comes in to that kind of job that deals with estimating. So you might consider that as another added option on your part as a career move to go into quantity survey. By the way, any questions? Any questions? You may raise it. Yes. In our competitive bidding, yes, Miss Camille. Continue. Doesn't end to be like that all the time, Miss Camille, because here in our construction industry, we have PICAB, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, which all contractors will have to secure their licenses in that board. And the board credits you based on your experience and track record. And you may be accredited as double A or single A. Yes, anyone? Okay. So it depends. It in other countries it has a different way of accreditation. But here in our country, we have an accreditation board that evaluates your license if you are qualified to undertake this project or not. And it also, the board accredits you based on your capacity to undertake the project or not. It is also based on the capitalization that you have in order for you to continue. Here in the Philippines, you are first credited as trade contractor. Then, as your experience goes on every year, then you'll be accredited as a Class D Delta contractor until such time you become a A, C, category C, then category B, then category A, then double A, then triple A. Most of the big contractors here in the country are mostly categorized as triple A contractors. These are contractors capable of doing projects 50 million and above projects. So granting, if you have that license, category A, triple A, then you are qualified to bid, to join a competitive bidding on these projects more than 50 million and above. Is that clear, Ms. Camille? Okay. So in a competitive bidding, it depends on the owner's project that is being bidded out also. Uh, an owner may have a budget of only, let's say, 100 million. So he or she should choose through the pickup board or ask the pickup board if they can refer a contractor with that kind of capability to undertake 100 million and below. So the board will tell you, oh, you invite this contractor, this one, and he will invite you for a competitive bidding. So that is how. Construction contract types are of different types. Uh, there may be a unit price contract, a cost plus fee contract, a GMP or guaranteed maximum price GMP, wherein your contract price is guaranteed be, according to that price, and you finish that project according to that price. If you cannot finish that project, then you are supposed to finish it, but on your own expenditures already, not to be charged by the owner. We will discuss this one by one. No? So, as I have said, different types of contracts: the lump sum, the unit price, the cost plus, the labor contract, the guaranteed maximum price, or the GMQ, guaranteed maximum quantity. These are the different types of contracts. Okay, lump sum. What is a lump sum contract? Uh, Miss Dandan, are you around? Someone has left the class already as early as 5 o'clock. Anyway, they may not be interested. So let's continue. Miss Dandan, are you around? What is a lump sum contract? How about you, Aliana, Empleo? What do you understand of a lump sum contract? Anyway, a lump sum contract is a contract with a contractor for a certain lump sum amount. Let's say 2,500,750. And that is the lump sum amount. Within that amount, you will have to start the project and finish it because you base that amount on based on the plans that were given to you, the specifications that were given to you. If there is a BOQ, bill of quantities, then that is given to you. So in a lump sum contract, the contractor gives a certain amount to be bidded out. And if the owner finds it uh, realistic and doable, then he awards it to you for a lump sum contract. For a unit price contract, your price is based on the unit price of your work. Let's say for a concreting of this portion or the pavement, your unit price is 5,000. And knowing that 5,000 is within that range for the budget of the owner, then he awards it for a unit price of 5,000. So your agreement between the owner is based on that unit price alone. And if there is a price increase on materials, there's no agreement on escalation. So your unit price remains the same. Okay? So understood? Klaro ba? Froilan? Luce? How about,
Yes, sir.
do you understand, Brian Lunesa?
Yes, sir.
How about Diane Aribal? Do you
Yes,
understand
sir.
the unit price? How about,
Yeah.
can you talk to me, talk to the whole class about lump sum contracts?
Ako, sir.
Yes, Miss Aribal.
Ang akong na-understand sa lump sum contract, sir, kay, it is a contract nga a contractor will price for a certain lump sum amount. Like, if ang house or project is 2 million ra, mo na jud na ang price ra jud.
Do you agree? Do you agree, Miss Bodomo, Cristel? Do you agree on Miss Aribal's definition on contract, lump sum?
Yes, sir. At mo-pressure sila ang dahil mapahimo siya balay, sir. Yung mayon ang contractor na 3 million. 3 million dyan, sir. Wala siya, bali ang lump sum contract kay wala siya ano, wala siya nag-base sa deliverables, preset price ra.
Okay, what do you understand about unit price contracts? Von Adrian Flores.
Base mo pag gingon ganina sir, ang ako rin nasabtan was if unit price gani kay it's a contract wherein the amount of work sa usa ka project it has to be divided. So as you said earlier, example na to is if sa concreting lang naigiset niya price, kung gingon ng mga 5K, so muna siyang unit price contract for concreting sa kanang project.
Okay, to be specific about it, Mr. Flores, if there is a change in material cost, your unit price still remains the same. So there's no change on additional kay nisaka ang simento, let's say from when you bid it out 180 per bag nya nisakag 220, your unit price is still the same, 180 per bag. Correct.
Okay, okay sir.
So you cannot charge the owner, uy, naaman, nausab man ang presyo nako kay misaka man ang semento. And that goes also for lump sum contracts. Lump sum contracts covers all the materials and labor for such project, and it will only matter if the item of work is not clear based on plan and specification. You can always claim for change order or additional work on that, but it depends on now on how you interpret it based on plan, because there's always a mediator for this type of things. It's the construction project manager. Okay, Mr. Zachary Hoyo, can you
Sir,
differentiate lump sum contract and the unit price contract?
ay, kuan sir, kanang for the lump sum sir kay you have to work on that total price na jud for the entire project sir, while for a unit price project it in terms of the material, so the the budget will change depending on, I will not change, but it will depend on the amount of materials that you will use. While for the lump sum sir kay you have to estimate the number of the quantity of the materials you will use because you're under a fixed budget. Sakto ra sir?
You were able to answer it so sakto, tingnan. Well, anyway, so everybody, let's continue our discussion on cost plus fee. It's a different type of construction contract also, and it is based normally in on a certain amount cost. Let's say to do a one floor of building is this much, the cost of that. And if I finish that in that amount, you give me a certain plus fee. Can you relate to it? A certain amount, let's say in figures, let's say ako ning tiwaso ning second ground floor of 100,000. Nya, nahuman tuod nimo 100,000. So nag-sabot gyud mo sa owner na kung mahuman ko nig 100,000, hatagi ko og 10,000 more for that fee alone. So he has to pay you 110,000. But if you don't finish it in 100,000, ikaw na mo sagot sa excess. That's why that is what we call cost plus fee. Okay? Or guaranteed maximum price, GMP. The GMP is what you call to the owner a guaranteed maximum price. And this involves big amounts of money, wherein a big project is being called upon to be finished, let's say, 5 years. We finish that in 50 million guaranteed price. Okay. If you finish that in 4 years at a certain lowered amount, let's say 45 million only, then your bonus is 5 million. And that is how a guaranteed maximum price is going to be as a contract to the owner and the contractor. But the thing is, if you don't finish it in 5 years and you don't finish it in that amount, then you will be the one to shoulder it again. Guaranteed maximum price. Okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Miss Fuentes.
Sir, i-clarify lang ta nako sir, unsa ang difference gid sir sa guaranteed maximum price ug sa lump sum sir? Kay dili ba murag na set pod as upper limit ang ihatag nga price na lump sum sir?
Guaranteed maximum price is a guarantee that you give to the owner on a certain amount. Okay? Kana pag yun ay klarong pilay amount sabutan. Inyo lang nang sabutan sa owner. Thing in ani ha. Although I have not undertaken this kind of job yet, but this is what I understand about it. That if a guaranteed maximum price of 5 million for a house like this, and you agreed that you have to finish this in 5 million, then the owner will give you certain amount of money as bonus. But for a lump sum project, you guarantee that this amount mahuman gina nako. Mahuman magali na nako kung lesser amount ako na nang ginansya. Got me, Miss Fuentes?
Yes sir, understood yes sir.
Intay, ang lump sum amount nimo is 5 million. Onya, natiwas na nimong building sa imong amiga at 4 million. Tiginan siya kag 1 million. Okay, lump sum amount, lump sum ang imong contract with her. But for a guaranteed maximum price contract, you guarantee the owner 5 million. Mahuman ko na. Then, nahuman na nimo in, let's say, 4 million. Imo gyapon tong ginansya, muro bag lamsam gyapon na siya. Galing, you guarantee a certain amount na mura ginang presyuha. It will never go up or never go down.
Okay sir. Thank you sir.
Kini siya is only applicable for certain scope of work that is not complicated. A guaranteed maximum price of a contract of a work that is not complicated. But for a work that is complicated, a good lump sum contract is going to be undertaken. Which to all of you, which is more favorable to all of you? A lump sum contract, a unit price, a cost plus, or a guaranteed maximum price? Which is more favorable to you? I will ask you that in a assignment form. Okay, as an assignment to all of you to turn in on Friday again with your understanding of these types of contracts, which is more favorable to you. Okay, you write something about it, then you turn in Canvas as an assignment and to be turned in on Friday. Okay? So is it clear that all of you are listening? Have you understood my explanation? So on Wednesday, we will not have face-to-face because ang face-to-face there is every other week, not every week. That was cleared to me by Mr. Engineer Fornes. So this week we will not have face-to-face but we will have online class. Okay? So since all of you are already asleep and must be very tired of the long weekend last weekend, so I'm dismissing the class as early as 5:15.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Uh, Sa Wednesday, sir, 9:30 ay 9:30 9 ya punta, sir,
No,
or
no.
4:30
The 9:30 is only good for face to
face to
face.
face? Okay, sir. Thank
Ah,
you, sir.
so 4 gyapon ta 30. Okay? That has been told to me by Mr. Rick Fornes that on face to face there is every other week. And that has been the mandate of IATF. There's no announcement yet if we can do weekly face to face. Any questions regarding the discussion?
Sir, may I clarify something from
Hmm.
your discussion, sir? So,
Yes, Mr. Law.
because a while ago, sir, di ba you explained man the difference between the lump sum nga contract and guaranteed maximum price? So, is just to make sure, sir, one of the differences the complexity of the work, sir? So, if um yes, sir, is it the complexity of the work ba ang
Yes, I should
difference?
say the difference between the two is about the complexity of the work. If it is just a simple work as let's say putting up a masonry wall, then you can always say a guaranteed maximum price. But if it is a masonry wall with painting and everything, with electrical and plumbing passing through that wall, then I should say it should be a lump sum contract.
So, sir, up as it, sige, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Lau.
So apart from that, sir, apart from the complexity of the work, same nagyapon ang kato like the katong method of payment like kato the iyahang mechanism, sir, kanang parihara ang
Well, the method of payment is always agreed upon by the owner with you and the owner. If the owner says, I'll pay you lump sum if you finish the whole thing, siyempre di yung ka mosugot kay you should have a down payment. That is where we call the terms of payment. And this is only applicable for small amounts of money, the guaranteed maximum price. But if you say minilyon ang inyong istoryahan, then I think the lump sum contract should prevail because you should impose to the owner certain terms of payment. You cannot always undertake the job with you cannot undertake the job without payments, di ba? Is that clear, Mr. Lau?
yes, sir. See. Thank you so much, sir.
So, in every project, the bottom line, anak yun, is the amount that you agree upon to finish a project. But in behind those things, there should be an agreed terms of payment wherein the owner follows a certain down payment schedule, then the progress billing schedule and everything. In my experience with VECO, Visayan Electric Company, being a contractor of VECO, they always state in your purchase order or PO that they issue you certain terms of payment like 30, 30, 30, 10. 30% down payment, then they pay you another 30% if your work is already equivalent to 60%. Then they pay you another 30% if your work is equivalent to 90% already. The 10% is what you call a retention fee, wherein they reserve the 10% in case the project has poor workmanship or there are things that are needed to be rectified or repaired, then they charge you on the retention. You got it? You understand that terms of payment? The 30, 30, 30, and 10. That is 100%, right? Granting, explain ko na eh. A 1 million project with VECO, they give me 30,000 as down payment. Then they will release another 30,000 if I have already accomplished 60% of the whole amount of the whole project. Then they will release again 30% equivalent to 90% of my contract amount of the project. And they will only give me the 10%, the whole 10% to make it 100% if a few months after the turnover and acceptance of the project is done. That makes it 100% and they are full paid already. So that is what you call a lump sum contract. Okay, Mr. Lau.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Noted.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I will publish in Canvas the assignment, a continuation of the assignment. Okay, so yes, Miss Rojas. Ako pa ng buhatan day sa karon mora tong topics na i-cover but I will upload subtopics. So we're still on module 1. Okay, so there was a question raised by Miss Garcia. Are you around, Miss Garcia? That can I Where are you? You're not around, Miss Garcia. But you emailed me about the module. I said the modules are there published already in Canvas. Okay. So any more questions? Any other questions? I have a question. To be asked next meeting na lang. Okay. So, class dismiss. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.